Today, we're finally adding a village into the Iron Maw. My villager breeder has been working overtime lately, and it's only fair we give these guys a new home. I've officially named this settlement the Maw's Reach, but as cool as that name sounds, we have a major problem. I have absolutely zero materials for this. We're gonna need thousands of blocks. Mud, tuff, mangrove, we need it all. So before we even start building, we've gotta go on a massive supply run. So before we spend a bunch of time actually just trying to gather the resources, we're gonna look through my abundance of shulker monsters and chests down at my base. I believe I have majority of the materials actually just down here, so we'll save a lot of time on the gathering portion of this. 15 stacks plus 15, and then another 16 stacks of mud. I currently have pretty much 16. Oh wait, yeah, 15. My leftover paper. Oh, never mind. Do you have any cakes? I need one, if you don't mind. You know what's terrible about all of this? I think two of the known materials that we'll have to go get are mangrove and mud, which are our two least favorite things to go get. Isn't that just so awesome? You have enough wheat? Sweet. That's fine. Well, I was still busy digging through the chests at my base, and I started placing out the copper early so they could start oxidizing while I still finished up the supply run. It was a really good idea because I forgot how long copper actually took to oxidize. Okay, so just from picking through all of the chests around my base and all of the shulkers, we managed to get, I want to say 80% of the materials needed. We just have to go over to the mangrove swamp and grab some mud and some mangrove and a bit of roots, I believe, as well. And then we'll also just run over to the nether, get some crimson, and then I think we're just about ready to start building. I don't even know where this portal is. Oh, found it. As we're making our way to the swamp, I just wanted to say the support on the last few forest videos have actually been insane. We're closing in on 200 subscribers, which is a huge milestone for this channel. If you've been enjoying the progress on the Iron Maw and want to see this village actually get finished, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It honestly helps out a ton, and it lets me know that we're on the right track with these projects. Okay, so we've made it to the mangrove, but you know, obviously I forgot to bring a bed, so I'm actually just gonna put myself underground, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Okay. It's daytime. I just want to find like something like this. Like just a big open mud patch. So we're just gonna sit here and gather a bunch of this for a little bit, and then we'll get some wood, and then we'll be out of here. I think mud is one of my favorite materials to collect. It's super fast to break, and the sounds are just so satisfying. Honestly, if it weren't for the mangrove trees constantly blocking the way, I'd probably use mud in way more of my builds. Okay, well, as far as mud goes, that probably should be good. I guess now it's just time to start chopping down some mangrove. Why is there so much going on? Oh my goodness! I think mangrove is like the most tedious material in this game to gather. Yeah, okay. Well, more than what I needed, so hopefully I don't have to go back to the mangrove for a while. I don't really use it a whole lot, so this should last me quite a bit. And as for the mud, I just decided to get a full shulker box. I can't even remember how much I actually needed, but most of this is going to get crafted into the packed mud bricks and just normal packed mud for pathways and whatnot. So I guess now all that's left to do is go to the nether and get some crimson wood. As you can see, I have some copper in the background. That just needs to oxidize as well, but that's passively happening while we're in the nether. So let's go over there and get some crimson logs. What are you doing here? Oh, how much do I have? Oh, it's like, you know what? Only a few more trees and I think we're good. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, I got lost. Okay, so we got our mangrove, our mud, our wheat, and we got our crimson. So I guess all that's left to do is just craft a couple things, and then it's waiting on the copper, which is going to take a while. But then we're ready to build. So I'm gonna go ahead and start crafting all this right now. When taking on a project of this size, I really try to stay organized, but like everyone else, I get a little bit lazy, and then that's when the shulker monsters start to pop up. While I was crafting the last of the needed materials here, I realized just how unorganized I actually am. If I want to continue making large projects like this one, I'm gonna need a real solution. So maybe in the next couple of videos, I'll finally look into building myself one of those automatic storage systems. Okay, so this right here is basically everything we're gonna need to be building the Iron Reach. Unfortunately, the copper is taking a lot longer than I expected. So I'm actually just gonna AFK all this, and you guys will see all this stuff done in a second. With the copper finally aged and all those shulkers packed up, it was time to get out of the base and head back to the forest. It's time to actually start building the Maw's Reach. I think it's really important that the villagers have a steady source of food, so I'm going to start with building the farmhouse in this area of the village, and we'll go from there. Since we're carving this whole village right out of the deep woods, I wanted the farmhouse to look pretty rugged. I started by mapping out the basic layout and throwing up acacia pillars to get the main frame in place. For the walls,
I wanted a really messy weathered texture, so I mixed in some packed mud bricks with a little bit of tuff, some stone bricks near the back. It gives the house that gritty medieval fantasy look right from the start. Then we hit the roof. To give it that overgrown ancient vibe, I went with a sharp A-frame using mangrove blocks, and trimmed the whole thing with spruce stairs and slabs. Honestly, watching the roof lines finally lock together is always the best part. A few final details, a lantern for some lighting, and the outside of the farmhouse is officially done. It fits into the forest perfectly. The only thing left to do now is to actually get some crops growing in the back. I usually like to plan out my builds in my creative world. Just seeing this already like start to take its shape on the server is actually pretty impressive. This is like the most basic house too. And if we run over to the interior, you'll see I left it really basic with really just a bed and some carpet. Trapdoors to hide. That's really it. There's a composter here. It won't really do anything. But inside this wall, there's going to be a villager. This is probably my least detailed house out of all of them. But this one actually has some proper function. Once I do the crop farm outside, this will be an automated carrot farm. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the outline of the crops, and then maybe we'll start planting some carrots. We'll see here. Okay, and that's pretty much the farmhouse done. So my plan is to have one villager floating around in here. We have another guy locked in this little 1x1 area here. And basically this is going to be a automatic crop farm where all of the crops that we gather are going to get put down into this secret little hidden, I can go down the ladder, little storage room. Nothing crazy, but it is just passively gathering food. Okay, so I decided to change just like kind of the build style of the trees that are inside of the village itself. I wanted them to look a little bit younger than the ones that are deep inside the forest, but also I wanted the canopy to be set a little higher, so these trees you can still fully walk under. It basically just shows that like life inside the village has affected the trees to grow. I think it's time to go grab some villagers. I don't actually have a villager breeder anywhere near me. This might be a little more work than I anticipated. I think down in my main base, I have some villagers left over from another project. Here's Hubba Bubba. What's up, dude? So fingers crossed we have some villagers already. Oh, we're good. Okay, now all that's left to do before we send these guys to the nether is just making sure the railroads are set up correctly. It's a good thing I checked because yeah, these guys would have been sent to I actually don't even know where. But now that I'm checking how many rails I grabbed, I don't even know if this is going to be enough. Okay, hopefully another stack and a half should be good. Oh no, it's not in the right portal. Okay, let's ship these two lucky villagers to the Iron Reach. Okay, how far did you guys make it? Not very, that's fine. There we go. Yeah. I think these are going to be the first villagers that have ever been to spawn. I don't even think we had a trading hall set up back here. Okay, well that's a problem. I forgot that the portal's not right on the ground and that villagers take fall damage. So I think the next best solution is to make a staircase that goes down to them. Or up to them. This guy, we're going to throw him inside of the... Man, I'm not doing good with rails at all. We'll put him in here. Hey, look at that. To my knowledge, nothing should be able to get past this wall, but nothing should also be able to get in. Are you kidding me? We do have to lock his trade, so I'm going to go grab some potatoes, and we're also going to send the next brave volunteer. Hey, buddy. Yeah, you're a farmer now. This one dies, I swear. I'm going to feel so bad. Hey, he lived. Okay, to be honest, that's the only villager that like needs to be somewhere, or I guess the only two. So I'm just gonna trim this railroad back a bit. I just want to go ahead and put all the crops down so we can confirm that this is gonna be working. Hopefully the villagers don't push that minecart out. I feel like... Okay, you know what? I think it's gonna be okay. Okay, so we just did a little bit of AFKing, and as you can see here, the farm works. We're gonna let these guys work in the background while we start moving on to the next build to this village. So with this house, I really wanted to have some similarities of color palette as the farmhouse. But when designing these houses, it was pretty difficult for me to find a color palette that I actually enjoyed. I really don't build with mud a whole lot, and just throwing in the jungle as well just kind of added a little bit more variation into the color. I also don't really build with acacia very often, but I wanted it to match the trees around it to make it look like the houses have been built with the wood surrounding them. So this is what the second house looks like all finished up here. I left this porch Activia area a little empty, but no, I'm super happy with the progress. This is coming out super well so far. Anyways, so it's time to move on to the campsites. So the idea with these is there's going to be kind of like, there's a station, like let's say some travelers come through the village who don't have a house, or
whatever it may be. So they're not meant to be super detailed and whatnot. Okay, so this is kind of like, this is what I settled on. I went around and I put some interiors onto the tents. Nothing crazy, obviously. It's just a little, you know, a little wanderer trader vibe, right? But we gave them some places to sleep, some places to sit down, a little campfire. I went with the soul campfire just to kind of match the vibe of the whole forest. I just like the overgrown vibe around it. Added a few fences so people can tie their horses if need be. Overall, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. Okay, so I just went ahead and finished the butcher house as well. At some point, I would like to go get some animals just to put in here. I didn't go too crazy on the detailing on the inside. Some, you know, some furnaces for cooking, some sleeping areas. With these two houses done, I think now I'm going to want to start to form a pathway. Okay, so I got a little bit carried away when I was building the path here. But as you can see, I built pretty much the rest of the trees that I wanted in here. I think there's a few more left. For the most part, they're all done. We got a little bit of like a town square area. We got the nether portal rebuilt here. I'll have to make a journey to go get flint and steel later to light it up. Yeah, okay. Let's get going on this library. See, now that's a nice view. I like how like kind of see the front door, the viewpoint through the trees. I'm just gonna start building the bakery now. So this is what the final bakery is gonna be looking like. I think in the future I might just keep this trapdoor shut and then have honey in here and then keep a couple of villagers just as like a market stall. I like the roof, I like the checkered design. Very basic interior, got a nice double oven for baking all that bread. And then upstairs we have more storage. I decided to put a pumpkin in here just in case we're making some pumpkin pie or whatnot. And then just a little sleeping area. But overall it's pretty simple. As far as housing, we're almost done the village. It's just time to extend this path down this way and clear a few trees and put one final house, which is going to be the fishery, which is going to go right here. I'm just going to start by removing the trees and then we'll go from there. With the interior of the fishery, I wanted it to look like it was being lived in by a fisherman, so I used these copper grates to act as like fishing nets, like crab traps and whatnot. He also has like a little bit of a workstation. I need to come back and light all of the candles in the entire village. Coming down, it's like it's almost like a port side, a bunch of barrels for fish, just like some other crates that I use crafting tables for, a stone cutter, just general clutter that just makes it feel more lived in. We got a little fish on the top. This I got off Pinterest and I'm super happy with how it turned out. Other than that, the iron reach is almost done. Okay, so I went ahead and put a bunch of detailing throughout the forest. I don't even think there's enough time to run through this entire forest to show you everything I did. I put another little campfire out. I added a gravestone for bubblegum, which is my first ever pink sheep that I found and accidentally killed. I swear it was an accident. And then just a bunch of small stuff around the village. I had an absolute blast making this village. I actually already have my next build planned out, so I'll be working on that pretty soon here. I really hope you guys liked this video. You guys might have noticed my mic quality changing throughout. I'm still trying to learn the process of just how I want to sound on YouTube, but I think I found what I want. But I appreciate all of you who stuck around to the very end to see the results, but I will shut up now and do a little walk around, but I will see you guys in the next one, and until then, keep those lanterns lit.